Hello, it's LexMPI back with another video, and today we're talking DeFi exchanges. What are they? I'm going to give you the dummy's guide to DeFi exchanges. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible and talk you through exactly what they are and how they work. So DeFi has been all the rage in crypto for about a year and a half now. And I'd say in the past 9 months or so, they've gotten very, very popular. So I'm going to talk through the key things to note. These are the terms I'm going to be referring to throughout the video, so I just wanted to get it out the way off the rip. So DeFi stands for decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is a concept that was brought about because of the applications of the blockchain. And what it allows us to kind of carry out financial transactions without the use of a central authority like a bank or a payment processor like Visa or MasterCard. Instead, you use the Ethereum blockchain, for example, to transact and move cryptocurrency or stable coins from one person to another or from one entity to another. So it's completely decentralized. It's on the blockchain. It doesn't require governments or a bank or, those kind of things. Automated market makers. So an automated market maker is exactly the same as a DEX, decentralized exchange. They are a platform where you can swap one cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency in a decentralized manner. And that is a topic of today's conversations. Decentralized exchanges. Synonymous with automated market makers and DEXs. So that's what you may hear them refer to also out and about. An example of a large DeFi exchange, which you may have heard of, is Uniswap, which was I believe the largest, unless that's changed in the past couple of hours. And then an example of a centralized exchange is Coinbase, that you may have heard of also. So, the concept as a whole. So the concept as a whole is best described when comparing it to a centralized exchange, which I've termed CeFi there. So on a decentralized exchange, you have liquidity pools. And on a centralized exchange, you have order books. You as the user of a centralized exchange provide the liquidity to the exchange. So you provide the cryptocurrencies to the exchange, and therefore you reap the rewards. So to give an example, when you use Coinbase and you swap one USDT for, X number of Bitcoin, what you'll know is that Coinbase charges a small fee, might be 0.5%, I believe, for a market order. And Coinbase keeps that money. On a DeFi exchange, all the users in the exchange supply liquidity via liquidity pools to the decentralized exchange. And Uniswap, for example, charges a small fee to the person swapping the cryptocurrencies. But rather than Uniswap keeping all of that, it gets given to the people who supplied liquidity to the exchange. So for example, if you went to Uniswap and you're exchanging 1 Ethereum for 5 Aave tokens, for example, Uniswap will charge you 0.3% for that transaction based on the value. Yeah. And the people that supplied Aave and Ethereum liquidity to the Uniswap platform would receive that 0.3% in fees. As you can see, it's community based. UNI, so I'll put that U in quotation marks, provide liquidity, and in return for providing liquidity to the exchange, we reap rewards in money. So decentralized exchanges apply the principles of blockchain to the exchange of money. So they remove oversight from a central authority, so you don't have to go, no one's checking, for example, if you've ever been to a bureau de change or a currency exchanging location in person, what will usually happen is they will ask you for identification if you're trying to buy some pound sterling with your US dollars. If you turn up with £10,000 cash, someone will ask you for your identification. They want to know who you are, and then you'll have to trust that you're going to get real currency notes in return, and they're going to shortchange you. when they count out the notes for you. On DeFi, there is no need to reveal who you are, your name, age, address, location. All you need is a MetaMask wallet or a wallet that you have the keys to and access to the internet. And that is it. And you can swap from whatever currency you want to whatever currency you need. Simple as that. It's trustless. You keep your privacy and it doesn't have some company digging into who you are, what you're doing, and asking 19 questions about you. What are the benefits of DeFi? Well, the benefits of DeFi are that you always own your crypto. You keep control of the keys. So in the example of using Coinbase, when you put your cryptocurrency onto Coinbase, Coinbase have the private key to your crypto. Not your keys, not your wallet, you may have heard a lot of time. In DeFi, when you're exchanging cryptocurrencies, you keep complete control of your crypto the whole time because it's in a personal wallet that you have the private keys to, and therefore you are completely in control of your cryptocurrency. You haven't given custody of your cryptocurrency to the exchange, which is what has to happen in centralized finance. As soon as you put your coins on Coinbase or Binance or Gemini, you will no longer have the private keys to your crypto. Another advantage of DeFi is the exchange is always online. It can't be shut down because you're transacting on the blockchain. Most cryptocurrencies transact on Ethereum, on the Ethereum blockchain. So the only way that the exchange gets shut down is if the Ethereum blockchain gets shut down. Nobody, I put GME there as a perfect example. Everyone remember what happened with Wall Street Bets and GME and how Robinhood, a lot of the trading platforms essentially stopped users being able to buy GameStop shares. There was utter outrage when that happened. I was shocked myself that the powers that be could coordinate such a blatant attack on the free market that they are in support of until it hurts them. So on DeFi, it's not possible. It is impossible to shut it down. If you want to buy cryptocurrency, you can buy it. No one can tell you anything. And that is something that's probably become more apparent in the past few months with what happened with GameStop. We saw the flaws in centralized finance. I explained earlier, rather than the corporation, reaping all the rewards for the transactions taking place, us, the people, make the money instead. If you supply liquidity to the exchange, you can make money in return rather than Binance or Coinbase becoming, those CEOs becoming billionaires. How about you make some money? So it's more democratic that way. Everyone who supplies liquidity gets some money. Beautiful. And as I said before, the privacy and it's permissionless. You don't have to ask permission by showing ID or someone verifying who you are to use it. And you can remain completely anonymous. So what are these liquidity pools I've spoken of and mentioned many a time in this video? Liquidity pools are where you take your cryptocurrency that you're holding, that you're not going to be selling anytime soon, and you say, well, it's sat there idle doing nothing. I am going to supply it to a decentralized exchange. And in doing so, you will be paid the fees that are accumulated during the exchange. And that's why you're called the liquidity provider. So for example, on the DeFi exchange Uniswap, there is a 0.3% fee. And this fee is then distributed among all the liquidity providers. So for example, if there is $10 million worth of liquidity for Ethereum, for example, on Uniswap, and you provided $1 million worth, what will happen is that you will get 1/10 of the fees. So of that 0.3%, whatever that value is in dollars, they will give you 1/10 of that, and you'll get that to your crypto wallet as a reward for supplying liquidity. When you supply liquidity to a liquidity pool, you are given a liquidity pool token. So what happens is that you get your cryptocurrency, you go to Uniswap and you say, here it is, take that, lock it up for me. And what they give you in return is a liquidity pool token. And that liquidity pool token represents the cryptocurrency you've given to the exchange. And that is coded into a smart contract. And the moment you give them back the liquidity pool tokens, they will give you back the cryptocurrency you deposited. And it's verifiable on the blockchain on a smart contract. It's trustless. You don't have to trust the exchange with your money because you have the liquidity pool token in return. And that is a contract written in the Ethereum blockchain that when you give them back the liquidity pool token, you will get back the cryptocurrency that you deposited plus your rewards. And that is coded into the contract. If you can read the code of Ethereum, it's there, it's verifiable, it's real, it's true, and it's trustless. Okay? Now, so how much do you need to put into an exchange? As much as you want is the answer to that question if you're providing liquidity. However, most exchanges work on a 50-50 split of each token that you put in, what they call a liquidity pair. So usually when you're supplying liquidity to an exchange, you will have your wallet set up and then you will put in to the exchange a 50-50 split in dollar terms of each token. What I'll do is I'll show you an example right now. So here we are on Uniswap. This is the landing page. I've connected my MetaMask wallet. So this is how much ETH I have in my MetaMask wallet. So what I wanted to show you was the pooling, how to add liquidity. So how you add liquidity to the liquidity pool. So you go here, there's some literature here which go through what I explained earlier in regards to the fact that liquidity providers receive the 0.3% transaction fee that people use when swapping on the exchange. So what you do is you go to add liquidity, and then you would then decide which pair of tokens you wanted to add liquidity for. So you could do, for example, Ethereum, and I have some UNI stake, which is another coin. And I could say I want to add 0.03 Ethereum, and automatically Uniswap will tell me that I'd have to stake 366.3 UNI stake. And the reason for that is that it has to be equal. So you have to supply an equal amount of each coin, 50-50. So for every 0.03 Ethereum, that is the equivalent dollar value in UNI stake. Okay? And then what I would do, I would approve that, and then I would then have to confirm the transaction on my MetaMask wallet, as you can see here. So I would confirm that. I don't wish to. As you can see, there is a $18 transaction fee. That is the gas fee on Ethereum. But that is an example of how you would add liquidity to a pool. So here I am on the Uniswap homepage, and this is the landing page for Uniswap. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you through how you would do a transaction on Uniswap. What I've done is I've connected my MetaMask wallet up to Uniswap. So as you can see there, that's how much ETH I have. What I want to do is that, for example, if I had some Ethereum, which I do have, my balance is there. So I want to put in 0.03. That's the amount of Ethereum I want to convert. And I wanted to convert that into some USDT. Oh, so we go. My spelling is terrible today. There we go, USDT, which I have 0 of. My 0.03 Ethereum would convert to 57 USDT. As you can see here, there is the liquidity provider fee, and that is at 0.3%. and that is 0.0009 ETH. But that amount is going to be given to the liquidity providers, the people that have supplied the USDT behind this transaction. We also see the minimum received. So long story short, obviously prices can change. So what this is saying is that if the price changes between now and me pressing swap, right, the minimum I will get is 56.7. If the exchange rate goes below that, it will cancel the transaction and it won't go through. Just an FYI. And you'd press swap, and then I'd confirm that, and then I'd have to then approve it on my MetaMask wallet. So what that is saying is that I'm essentially giving MetaMask confirmation that I'm allowing Uniswap to swap these tokens essentially. So it's going to take out the Ethereum and put back in the USDT. I'm going to reject it because it is actually a gas fee. Currently, so as you can see here, currently a gas fee of $116, which is ridiculous. That is the current state of Ethereum blockchain and the gas fees at the moment. But that is at the moment, you'd probably only be using Uniswap to transact large amounts of cryptocurrency. So there you go. That is an example of a swap taking place. So on to pricing and how prices or exchange rates are set on a decentralized exchange. I'll first go through and describe how that works on a centralized exchange. So on a centralized exchange, what you have is an order book where people essentially put the prices they're willing to buy a particular asset at and the price they're willing to sell a particular asset at. What I will do is put on screen the order book available on Coinbase Pro. So as you can see, you have where you're able to buy and where you're able to sell. And the price in the middle, right, where those two meet, is the spot price. The decentralized exchange, the price paid is based on the ratio of the two coins in the pool, not an order book like on a centralized exchange. And I'll give you a visual example. So what I've done here is I've visualized a liquidity pool. So where somebody has put in some DAI and some Ethereum into a liquidity pool and the amount of each in the liquidity pool. So as I said, when you put in assets into the liquidity pool, they have the same dollar value, which makes sense because, for example, if I created a brand new liquidity pool and I added some DAI and some ETH, Uniswap, as you saw in my prior example, would require that I put in equal dollar values of the two coins. And that is because the exchange rate is based on the amount of each coin in the exchange. You see? So because I've supplied 10,000 DAI worth $10,000 and 20 Ethereum worth $10,000, 10,000 DAI is equal to 20 Ethereum, as you can see here. And what I've done is I've then given that ratio down at 1 DAI level and then at 1 ETH level. So 1 DAI is equal to 0.002 Ethereum and 500 DAI is equal to 1 Ethereum. And that is your exchange rate based on the amount of each cryptocurrency in the exchange. Now, in a subsequent video I'm going to post maybe later on this week, I will go into why this way of pricing can cause something called impermanent loss, which is one of the risks of exchanging on a DeFi platform. And I will go through in more detail exactly how this works. But as I said, when you add liquidity to an exchange, it asks you to put in an equal dollar value of each cryptocurrency. And the amount of each cryptocurrency is your exchange rate. So I gave 10,000 DAI and 20 Ethereum, each worth $10,000. And that is the exchange rate. 10,000 DAI to 20 Ethereum, as you can see here, and that's then broken down in the same ratio to make it easier to read. I hope that's a good explanation of how decentralized exchanges work. If you could please like and subscribe, it would be much appreciated.